broadcast at the moment. Let's take a look at that. This is to do with the Delhi High Court extending interim protection from arrest granted to probationary IAS officer Pooja Khedkar in a case registered against her for fraudulently availing attempts in the UPSC examination beyond the permissible limit. This is by faking her identity, and that has been extended till September 5th. Ananya, more details please on this.
Well, definitely, the Delhi High Court has extended, in fact, the interim protection that has been granted to, Pooja Khedkar in this particular case. Remember, the IAS probationary who has now been suspended by the UPSC had, filed a rejoinder before the Delhi High Court yesterday, wherein it had gone on to clearly say, that these are something that the UPSC could not have done, because once she has cleared this particular examination, UPSC has no right to disqualify or suspend her, is what the take from, in fact, Pooja Khedkar had been.
Okay.
And today, the hearing continued for a little while, and now, in fact, the court will be hearing the matter further on September 5th. But until then, the interim protection has been extended for Pooja Khedkar in this particular
But
case.
Ananya, how merited is this entire plea of Pooja Khedkar that UPSC does not have the kind of power to probably not allow her as far as, or transfer her for that matter? How much of a merit does this plea really have?
Well, that can only be justified by the Delhi High Court when it comes to give out its order, because Pooja Khedkar would definitely be putting a stance that she is defending, and and she has gone on to say that she is not, in fact, forged any kind of a documents, or she has not committed any kind of a fraud, and that is something that the Delhi police and, in fact, the UPSC, the complainant in this case, are completely denying and saying that she is somebody who is involved in a larger conspiracy. And in fact, if you remember the trial court's order, the trial court had asked the Delhi police to investigate as to if at all there is some kind of an insider role also there somebody from the UPSC or from the department that was helping Pooja Khedkar in getting those false further attempts which are not permissible under in fact the law and the rules that are framed for these particular examinations.
Also, Ananya, she has gone on to refute all the fraudulent proceedings against her. She's saying that there is no fraud that she has ended up committing. She also says that there is no power that is with the UPSC to disqualify her. If we take a look at precedents in the past, do we have similar examples where we've had UPSC disqualifying an officer for that matter for various reasons?
Well, at this particular point of time, this is a unique case that had cropped up before, in fact, the Delhi High Court this time, because this is one of its kind case where, somebody has taken false attempts, and this is not a case of seeking more attempts. It's a case wherein the probationary had already taken these attempts. She had, gone on for a probation period, and all of this came to light much later, and that is something that has shocked the conscience of the trial court as well. And then Pooja and then she was denied anticipatory bail by the Delhi's Patiala House Court, and now the matter is before, in fact, the Delhi High Court, and whether or not that relief is granted to Pooja Khedkar or not, but at this particular point of time, the interim protection is there for Pooja Khedkar. She cannot be arrested until the 5th of September at least.
So Pooja Khedkar won't be arrested till the 5th of September at least. There was also a forgery case against her, Ananya. What is happening when it comes to those charges?
Well, all of these charges are being dealt by the Delhi police itself in this particular matter, and she sought bail in this is the whole case wherein forgery also is one of the charges that are there. So very clearly, Pooja Khedkar getting an interim protection from the Delhi High Court seems to be a big relief, but the final order, the final outcome of the Delhi High Court is still awaited. It is still hearing this particular matter, and only because the matter is before the Delhi High Court, it had given some kind of a protection to, in fact, Pooja Khedkar until now. And very clearly and categorically, the Delhi police and the UPSC have time and again opposed any kind of a protection be granted to Pooja Khedkar, calling her a mastermind and, in fact, a big criminal, a head of a big criminal conspiracy. And very clearly, getting those false attempts is something that the UPSC and the Delhi police are both worried about.
Ananya, there was a major fallout of this entire case. Like you have been rightly mentioning, this is an unusual and a unique case altogether. UPSC ended up saying that there is going to be an authentication of every candidate on the basis of their Aadhaar. That also has come about, especially after this major controversy erupted that involves Pooja Khedkar.
Well, definitely, the UPSC had after this kind of a blot coming on their head, they have tried to put in some procedures to make its appointments and its procedure more and more stricter. So these kind of what you say procedures can actually come up by the UPSC. They might bring more and more of such rules so that the authenticity of a candidate can be can be kept sacrosanct, because this is one of the most prestigious examinations in the country. People become IAS, IPS officers after this particular examination who run the country, and that is something that this such a big case has come out, such a big fallout had come out, and questions were being raised on the Union Public Service Commission as well, and that is the reason why UPSC is now time and again coming out with new rules so as to completely be sure as to who is applying for this particular examination, and the people who clear it are also given a good background check. And now finally they are bringing in more and more such security measures so that the authenticity of a candidate can be kept sacrosanct.
Right, Ananya, thank you so much for all of those details. We'll keep coming back to you on this story that involves the probationary officer Pooja Khedkar. Of course, a lot is happening. Unusual attempt to secure a position right there as the IAS officer, and of course there are cases against her when it is about fraudulent measures that she had undertaken.